Welcome to the Hincappy Spring Series Rock Hill Criterium, Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've got a designated crit course, which is pretty cool, out here in Rock Hill at the complex. And I've got a team. I brought some boys. We got David Davenport right in front of me. In front of him, I believe it's Francis. He is a French-Canadian from Quebec. We also have Santiago from Quebec, also super strong. And yeah, they're coming to visit, part of Team Winston-Salem for this year. Our competition this year is going to be, at this race, is going to be Bryce here on the right in the orange. He played pretty hard at the last training race we had. And we've also got a few collegiate teams. We got SCAD Atlanta. We got here on the left one of the Project Echelon boys, Jonas Walton of Project Echelon, who actually just had a pretty good showing out at Tucson Bicycle Classic last year at this race. He lapped me twice, which hurt. I was on a cross bike then, and now we were on these sweet Haro Rivet road bikes. Got some deep dish wheels on there now, fully race kitted out, and we've got a camera. David came in on me a little bit in that corner, and I had to check up on the brakes. And this is early in the race. We got the first lap. It is very windy today. We've got that hill that we just saw back on the other side with the U-turn at the top of it. And right here through this downhill fast section, right before the hill, we have a crosswind from right to left, and then it kind of shifts to a headwind up the hill. So the hill's kind of slow, hurts to go up. You get a lot of momentum into it, but you don't get a lot of speed out of it, and it's easy to recover in the group on that hill. I attack second lap into this roundabout. Look back. You can kind of see in this U-turn what your gap is, and a lot of the guys were on me, but also had just enough of a gap to keep pushing, so I kept it at like threshold and did a little bit of a lap. Guess I got about half a lap solo. This dude came up to me and we started rolling through a little bit later on in that hill. We have Gregory Santiago. My teammate attacks with Bryce on his wheel. He looks back, sees he's got a gap, and keeps pushing it. We did a 3-hour ride before this, so we're not sure how our legs are feeling, but we have Fergus Arthur, another hitter, used to be on Brainstorm and is now on Foundation, bridged up to those guys. And we also have Jonas making some moves, and it's going to be the story of the day, I guess. Me and Santiago attacking, Fergus responding to some stuff, Jonas responding to some stuff, and we're just all attacking each other. It's kind of feeling like a break's going to go. We are 10 minutes into this race right now. Everybody is already kind of hurting. You can feel in the pack that it's not super easy to sit in, but people still have plenty of energy because, again, it is super early into this race. I'm in this breakaway with Jonas and Ferg. We look back. Group's still on us a little bit. We rolled through a little bit, and then later on in that lap, Ferg kind of got a little move going, made it off the front for a little bit. Jonas attacks again on that downhill. I'm just kind of tagging him. I know he's strong, and he's not going to let anything go. He's going to attack at good times, so we've got to keep tabs on Jonas, make sure he doesn't get away without one of the Team Winston boys. Falling down this hill, we ended up doing like 40 plus miles an hour on this thing a few times. Felt pretty fast. Eventually got Fergus back with that other dude, and Santiago attacks right around the outside. He's followed by a SCAD Atlanta dude. Again, early in this race, first 20 minutes, and we are being super aggressive. Guess we're spending energy today. Jonas is going to try and bridge across that. Stuck on his wheel again, just in a good spot. I don't know if we were actually super vigilant about knowing where Jonas was at all times, but he tended to attack from the place that I was kind of near. Once we caught them, Jonas would keep rolling through. This is actually a pretty good time to keep rolling through. If the pack's not on you and you just keep the pressure on, sometimes little gaps can form. But again, early in this race, 20-30 minutes in, that SCAD guy, he popped a little bit. So I jumped back onto Jonas's wheel to just keep him in check. Don't want him slipping away without us on the wheel. Alright, we keep going. I'm on the front. I think I'm solo now. Who knows? We attacked so many times. It was kind of hard to tell. We have Jonas going again, and Santiago right on his wheel. Again, attacking. It's a hard day, training race, so we're just going to keep going. Got Monk, Brennan Fury, used to be my teammate on Project Echelon, of the Blazers last year, used to be crit champ. Caleb Landgrebe, also super strong crit racer, has some great results last year. So we've got some hitters in this field, strong dudes. And then we have up there on the front, Santiago and Jonas going. Fergus is following with the SCAD guy. The SCAD dude, he's not going to pull through. He's going to let that gap go. It all comes back together a little bit, and then we have this little move off the front. Jonas is following Francis here. Francis sees everybody on his wheel, and he sits up. So I follow this dude. That guy kind of sits up a little bit too, and it's my turn to go. I hit some big watts there. A little over 1,000 watts. Up this hill. I've got momentum. I'm just going to keep rolling through. Look back and see I've got a little bit of a gap. Bryce is up here. Bryce is super strong, and I know he's going to want to keep that breakaway rolling. So eventually I caught up to him. We rolled together for a long time. It was what, like 45 minutes when we started, 45 minutes to go when we started rolling together. I jump on his wheel, and we're just gonna keep it moving. 20 minutes later, 15-20 minutes later, caught Rebecca there. She actually won the women's race, 5 laps solo. Pretty determinate lead there. So we're gonna continue rolling through. You can see there's a group of dudes bridging up to Bryce and I. 5, 6 guys. They eventually break up, but they would reach us. And we can see everybody who is together here. We've got Santiago. We've got Project Echelon. Supra Squadra. And we've got a SCAD rider. And they were all rolling pretty strong. I think the SCAD rider is Justin, and then the Super Squadra rider is Taylor, and then obviously Jonas on Project Echelon. We have Santiago sending another attack, 18 minutes to go, and Jonas is going to follow that. So I am just going to stay on Jonas's wheel, try and wear him out, try and stay in that draft. We got to make sure he is not fresh by the end of this race. So he's doing a little attack, got back onto Santiago's wheel, and now we're good. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep attacking him. Bryce sends a little move up the hill. See if anybody responds. Santiago just did a move, so that's on me. I've got to tag that back. We get through that next lap, and it's my turn. I'm going to send a move on the downhill. Pretty good place to go on this course, just being a tailwind here. So anybody in the draft is not going to get quite that much. Jonas was doing this often, and it hurt. And you can get pretty good separation, especially if the group lets up. We had Santiago attack pretty hard on the outside in the grass. The attack worked. Jonas got back onto his wheel, though. It looks like he lost a little bit of watts doing that grass. I had moved over a little bit, did not know he was going to attack on the inside there, but it was a good time to go, right as I had been pulled back. And I'm hurt. Like, we did that big ride before. Santiago keeps the pressure on. Here goes Jonas around the inside. He clips a pedal. Almost goes to the outside of the corner. I don't know if his chain fell off or not, but yeah, that could have been a little wild. So everybody regroups, and then Jonas picks up the pace again. Trying to keep the pace on, maybe trying to stop our attacks. Eventually we get to the downhill. It's time to go again. Everybody's kind of letting up, so I know it's my turn to make a move. Just 1-2ing everybody we can, making them all work, seeing if we can get away solo. That's a pretty easy way to win a race. I'm going to keep the pressure on, kind of super tucking here, and then once the pace lets up, keeping on. And Santiago attacks. He's got Bryce and Jonas on his wheel, and I found out I am cooked now. So I let it go. I'm just Gonna save my matches right here. Hope they sit up again. Jonas attacks. Sees me back there. Attacks. Santiago is luckily on his wheel. So, Jonas off the front. Santiago there. The other dudes not really able to respond. So, I'm just going to keep the pressure on. I eventually caught back up to them. Only 10 minutes left in this race, so like 3 laps to go. And I've got to figure out how to get third now. Hoping Gregory up there. The gap was not big. 5 to 10 seconds. Hopefully, Gregory Santiago can take the win from Jonas. I know he's a better sprinter than Jonas, but we've done a lot of riding today, and we've done a lot of attacking today. So his legs could be cooked. So if I can get up there, I will, but my legs are also a little bit cooked. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit on. Hope these guys can bring it back to a bridgeable distance, and if it comes to a sprint, I'll have the better legs for it. Last lap. We come around. This dude, super scrodule guy, I think Taylor, he says he doesn't want to sprint, and so he pulls the entire last lap, which was nice. Less caginess, pretty good. I'm cool with that. Justin's on his wheel, the SCAD guy here, and Bryce is on my wheel. I think Bryce is pretty cooked at this point. We had talked about it after, but I know I'm gonna have to attack early. Once you get into that corner, race is pretty much over. There's a bit of a headwind, so if somebody's in your slipstream, it could come around, but not a lot of distance to that corner. It's like 100 meters. So I attack into the corner super hard, try to get a gap. I was a little light on this corner. I didn't pedal all the way through it. I think I probably could have, because it wasn't going too fast, but kick back out of the corner. Hope nobody's in my draft. I couldn't hear anybody, couldn't see anybody, so I just kept pressing on the pedals. Ended up getting third by a bike throw from Justin over at SCAD. Jonas won in the sprint, and Santiago second. So we got second and third on our first race together. Thanks for watching. See ya.